Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful Monday morning.
In
Britain today.
Is it? It's a little bit still cold again,
cloudy.
Isn't it?
And we are looking at a beautiful British brand of guitar amplifier from the blast from the past. So yes, Hiwatt, we're checking it out.
Told hens, man. What can I say?
Now,
This is amazing.
It's kind of surprised me, the whole Hiwatt thing. I think I grew up associating Hiwatt with Pete Townsend, maybe, like The Who, that kind of like, I think I always saw it as quite an amp that you went for if you were going for that driven sound.
Yeah.
And it's only been more recently, and perhaps exploring the sort of the David Gilmour association with some of the Hiwatt things, that I've realised that actually it's probably the clean sound that is its sort of...
Super awesome clean. Super awesome
yeah,
clean sound.
like Fender-esque, right?
Yeah.
Just epic level.
Yeah.
So look, we've only started stocking Hiwatt since 2024,
Yes.
or at least not since 1980 something or other when we last stocked it. And the current lineup has, if you're into electric guitar, has kind of got three tiers. That's the word. So
Like, not these tiers.
you can go completely solid state, and we bloody love that amplifier. There's a video up here or down here somewhere where we were shooting out some
that live yet,
solid
that
state
video? I don't know, maybe
amplifiers.
maybe
Not yet, but it probably will be by the time this goes live. And we just plug into this 50 watt 1x12 thing, and we compare it to some other solid state amplifiers from bands like like Boss and Laney and stuff, and it does really well. So check that video out. It's super affordable. Then there's this series. I think it's just called the T series, but we'll go into the spec and exactly what this is called shortly. Actually, this is not part of that series. So, but this is like an Asian-built mid-price all-valve range of amplifiers. So these are all kind of competing money-wise, I suppose, with things like Black Star and Marshall DSL and all that kind of stuff. So plenty of change out. All of this stuff is in that sort of £500 to £1,000 bracket.
Right.
This is less. This is a little 5 watt thing. And then the range that we're going to do soon, but we're trying to decide whether to invite someone from Hiwatt down to really get into it, is all of the reissues of the, it's all British built, custom shop reissues of the stuff that made it big, the reason why people like David Gilmour decided to use it in the first place. I'm using my latest purchase.
Oh, he did it.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen,
I did it. He wasn't a big girl's blouse. He just did it.
I did it. Yes, it got me. It was the itch that could only be scratched by forking out to buy it. So I've got a Hanson S-Type, completely stock. Beautiful, beautiful guitar. Love this very much. And Pete?
Playing a DPT.
DPT.
That's entry level.
All the way.
Yeah, all the way.
So let's talk about what we got here.
Before we do that, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and every time we hit a new 10,000 subscribers, you get to win something. And when we hit 1 million, which hopefully will be soon, you get a clone. Come on,
let's get to that million.
Let's get to that million.
So this range has essentially 2 models in it, each available as either a head or a combo.
Yeah.
We got the 20 watt head here, which you can switch down to 10 watts. We'll talk about the knobs and buttons on that. And this would also normally be available as a 112 combo.
That's sold.
But it's sold out. Is that a 112 cab?
This is a 112 cab.
Great. So we'll plug this into that shortly. And then that opening jam, Pete and I were both using the T4020.
Yeah.
I'm in its 40 watt mode. I don't know about you.
I haven't even seen. Yes, I am in the 40 watt there, Lee.
Excellent.
I can't see anything. It's dark back there.
And we'll talk
like
about the knobs and buttons on these, but just to give you a flavour of the pricing on these, we'll put you out of your misery early doors.
Yeah, do that.
Right,
Or
so the 20 watt head is going to be the cheapest one at $649.
Wow.
Then you pay $749 for this as a combo. Then if you want to jump up to the 40 watt head, you pay $799. And if you want the 40 watt combo, as a 112 is $899.
$899.
And the 40, and there's a 212 version of this as well at $999. So like I say, they all come in that kind of, sub £1,000 bracket.
That's great.
If you go over to the little high five,
high five, my wife.
you can get that as a head, which you've got here, or indeed a small 1x10 combo.
Yeah.
So again, we'll whiz through that. And then cabinets-wise, if you want the matching cabinets, the sort of slightly more affordable range from Hiwatt is called I just had it here 2 seconds ago, bear with, the HG series. HG in a 112 is $449, and in a 212 is $549. So we're going to be...
It looks absolutely flipping great, man.
This
is one for the collection.
It's a very iconic look, Hiwatt, isn't it?
It is.
The 40-20 head. Here's the bullet points. It's obviously a valve amplifier, which you can switch between 40 and 20 watts. Quite often when you're switching between a 40 and a 20 watt thing, you're taking the power section, which in this case has 4 EL84s, and you're switching between whether you want to run 2 EL84s or 4 EL84s. In the preamp, it's got 2 ECC83s and an ECC82. It has an effects loop. It can do your channel switching and reverb from the foot switch. 3-band EQ with a push on the
mid,
like a mid shift thing on the. You've got a reverb control and a master volume control, and you've got a normal channel and a gain channel. And
you've got a underneath there, you've got an aux in, which I like.
Have you?
Why? No offense, but why would you have an aux in on a tube amp? But it's there.
I would agree with you on here. It talks about this being a cathode bias Class A amplifier. Ooh. Touch sensitive feel, spring reverb, I think we mentioned, didn't we? So you're running this into a 112.
Yeah.
So let's just go through, let's start with that clean sound with no pedals, because I do think this is arguably one of the best British clean sounds ever.
I'm blown away, man. I am that guy who think he needs one of these in his collection at some point, because, So we're running, let's go reverb 12, master, it's loud. This is loud. So master on 1:45, what is that? 9? What is that
9.
Time? 9 o'clock. Yeah, 9. So 9. I want to turn it up a bit, give it a bit more to breathe.
That is another point to go. Volume, and again, apologies if we're sort of teaching you to suck eggs here. Number one is the wattage rating. In other words, when you talk about 50 watt amps versus 100 watts and amps and all that kind of stuff, that is not about, the correlation between wattage and volume is not linear. So twice the wattage does not give you twice the volume. Roughly-ish, it's 10 times the wattage gives you double the volume. So strictly speaking, 10 watt amplifier into a certain speaker, you'd have to then get a 100 watt amplifier into the same speaker to double the volume. There's lots of ways you can change the volume by changing the speaker, number of speakers, the sensitivity of those speakers, like that. But like for like, so when you talk about a 40 watt amplifier, and even more so switching into its 40 watt mode, it's closer to the end of the amplifier market that will be super loud for a gig, but not high headroom. So if you want the high headroom, like Pete's saying, that I want to be able to dig in and retain that sort of bass clarity, you probably need to run the master volume quite high and then play dynamically or softly. If you just want full squidgy, go into overdrive stuff, then you can take that master volume down.
The other way around.
Yeah.
And it's super cool because you got for the overdrive and for the normal gain. So, and the master volume. So if you're home, just turn the master down. I mean, that's perfect
acceptable
for home. I would say you can even go a little bit louder at home. You know, a looks cool in
Nothing wrong
in
with
your
that.
bedroom or your.
Nothing wrong with that.
Anyway, let's go a little bit. Sounds great, man. You know, it's actually it's kind of breaking up a little bit with no
Just a tiny
pedals
bit,
on it.
yeah.
Yeah, I like the proper spring. It is definitely. Why isn't it clean? Is that the
That edge
is
of
the clean?
breakup sound is fab.
It is the clean. I'm sure.
But it's not. But it's not. You've really got to go, kind of almost like Fender Twinny. But then you play, I think, you know, bridge pickup on there and
On a
give it a
Telecaster.
good strum.
Yeah, but that's-
you know, you're pushing it, aren't you?
We did that. We talked about that before, where you could do like with a Telecaster, Cali 76. That's too much. And then go to the back pickup.
If we've got one like a 335 style guitar in here, we should try that, because the other, you know, probably more
We have.
recent user of Hiwatt, who's obviously uber famous, is Noel Gallagher. And he's not a big pedal guy, is he? If I go back to the interview you did with Mick and Dan,
Yeah.
he is a plug it into the right amplifier
Yeah.
and just play them chords.
And Noel, for you, it's everything at 12 o'clock.
He probably
Off
knows
the
exactly
bass.
where he wants his Hiwatt amp
He
set.
probably used the other ones, didn't he? This is a Heritage.
So that's no pedals, right?
That's
So
no pedals at all. Here's Wonderwall.
That's a do 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 da da, like their cigarettes now.
I don't know what song you're talking about, but yeah. Just taking this down off the wall, so it's a little bit hard
No
to tune.
pedals.
No pedals at
and
all.
on its clean channel as
And
well.
on the clean channel, it's brutal.
It is wicked. Before we jump over to the drive channel,
Yeah.
could you just demonstrate A, what the 20 watt switch does on the back, and B, what does
Yeah.
that mid shift thing
Let's just
do?
turn it down a bit first. I mean, it's so dynamic. That's what it is with this amp. I can, you know, when you. It's a dynamic amp. You have to play
Yeah.
the volume, play the gain. You know.
It doesn't sound like the preamp has much headroom
No,
at all, really.
it doesn't.
It sort of
It doesn't.
wants to go, doesn't it?
It
Although,
wants- it wants to
ironically,
go.
with this guitar, which is obviously much lower output,
Yeah.
it has got a much
Yeah.
more headroom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's just see what just the outer extremities of the EQ. Let's treble. Middle. Notice I'm using this finger.
I do notice.
There's the bass. It's sort of, it just
More
sits at 12
martially, isn't
o'clock.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't really do much. It's
Usable,
all-
but
12
you know,
o'clock.
not super active or
No,
anything like
it's not
that.
So let's see this middle feature. Let me just take this so gainy.
sort of removes a lot of that lower mid-range, doesn't it?
Maybe just swap
Which
to
I don't.
single coil
I
again.
prefer with the, without that feature switched on. If that makes sense.
Yeah, well. Well. Sorry, that needs new strings, that guitar, so we're just going to jump back to this. That's so much power in that
like
guitar.
Double the power, isn't it?
Yeah, but that makes sense, because we'll just... It removes some mid-range.
Sort of pushes the register of the mid-range up a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. Let's just see. How do we get it clean? Will we do all the way like there?
It's not like shimmer clean, is it? It's
No.
not that.
20 watt? Oh, you can hear it just when you drop it. Not a lot in it, but
No, I think the bass end is so much more apparent when it's in 40 watt mode.
it's great.
It's a good cab.
Okay, drive. Are we there? Wow, that's bright all of a
Spiky,
sudden,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Oof, hello, look out.
Funny again, I think I prefer the clean sound. Maybe let me try another guitar.
Yeah, the drive sound very much takes off where the clean channel sort of ends, doesn't it? It's quite high gain even on a relatively low gain setting.
Right, so this is a PJD with the humbucker and the bridge, so we got a little bit of both. It's definitely got that.
Tons of mid-range.
Tons of mid-range.
What does the pulling the thing out do? Does that make it better or worse?
What
not
does
that
it
thing.
matter? That is loud.
It's so loud, isn't it?
I think this would record really well. I think for a session thing where you just need like some...
So you've only got the drive at like 9 o'clock there. So what if we just, there we go, and push the mid-range thing back in?
That's a lot of gain.
I mean, it's a
That's
great
a lot
sounding
of gain.
amplifier.
So we just do quickly with some pedals.
Good
Let's
idea.
try that. So that's a clean.
Yes.
Kind of clean. Let's do Cali 76. Just a little bit extra. Bit of Dane.
It's actually not dissimilar to the gain channel on the...
So much
Bit
louder.
louder, yeah.
It's a
bit more
different...
raspy, isn't
Yeah.
it?
See, I like that. The clean with an overdrive pedal
Yeah.
in sounds wicked, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, I've got lots of stuff. I've got a fuzz pedal, see what that does. Sounds great, man.
It does sound superb. Well, look, given that we've got that cab mic'd up and we've only got the 20-watt head, let's just quickly plug the
let's plug that in there.
20-watt head in.
I'll do that. Well, you say, well, snap the fingers and then we're ready to go. 1, 2, 3. There we go. We're
right,
back.
Plugged into the 2010 now. 2010 was a great year.
It was a great year.
I can't remember that.
2020 was a
What about 4020? What's that going to be like? 2010 is all the same knobs, largely the same spec, except now that the power section just has the 2 EL84s in it. Still cathode bias, class A, and all that goodness. So one would assume this just sounds like a quieter version, but who knows?
Definitely
Too much reverb. Is it just not quite as bassy? Is it just not quite as bassy?
Yeah. It's not as bassy. Do I prefer that?
We're in the 20 watt mode. Yeah, absolutely.
I like that.
Yeah, I was just about to say, taking them
gets a little, maybe take a bit of the reverb down and still. Let's just put a little bit of MQ.
You know, I will never get used to when a cab isn't underneath the head that I'm.
Yeah,
it always freaks me out that I'm doing the knobs here, but actually the sound's coming out of over there. But anyway.
That's like in
exactly
Amsterdam.
like
could be coming. Knobs come out there, and over here happens something else. MQ driver. It's just a rock. It's just a.
I don't know what it is. I almost. They're similar but distinct, aren't they? And I'm trying to decide which one I do prefer. Let's. You know, the 40 is quite a lot louder.
It's much louder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's double, but that's
double the
relative,
power. Yeah, but
not double the volume.
Got more
headroom.
It feels louder, doesn't it?
It's got more low end. That sounds bloody great. That's nothing on.
I tell you what, that's a good example of this headroom thing, because once we hit that sort of maximum saturation on here with the master volume about, I don't know, not quite all the halfway, but just under half, nothing really gets much louder in that second half, because it's just.
Then it's it, isn't it?
Right, let's try the overdrive channel.
P90 in the front here, so that's a little bit less. But it doesn't get as clean as this does.
Yeah.
I probably think I prefer this one for an overall.
It's funny, isn't it?
And how much more is this? It's not
Not much more. £100, £150,
Yeah,
something like
that.
I think you're probably right. I think the analogy that came to mind whilst you were playing that was it's the same breed of dog, but this one's on the lead and this one's off the lead. That's basically. Is that a good analogy? Yeah, I think that's my analogy.
Thank you.
Right. Should we do the high five?
Let's put that over here.
Woo! So we're in the high five now. We've plugged it into the 112 cabinet down there. There is, of course, a combo version of this with a 10-inch speaker. I think just purely and simply because we've been playing these other two amplifiers quite loud and my ears are obviously used to it.
Yeah.
This, at perhaps the volume you might use at home, sounds...
It's cool, man. For home use, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean...
There's no reverb in this either, you have to remember.
No reverb and no effects loop.
Yeah.
And actually, I don't even have a normal reverb on my board. I've just got... Actually, my ears are getting acclimatized now. When we first plugged this in, it was just like, it sounds so small, but that's relative, isn't it?
It is small. It still sounds good.
Yeah, it does. It sounds
but I
pretty
know once
good,
you get
man.
used to it.
Yes.
That's the danger.
I would probably, I think you can afford to push this, I'm into it now. I'm into it. It's still got that tubey compression.
Yeah.
If I put a Dane into it.
Great, man.
It sounds fine. It sounds pretty good. So good little pedal platform.
Yeah.
And then if we go to its built-in overdrive, and again, I got the volume pushed pretty hard and the gain pretty low. You could have some fun with that, couldn't you?
Yeah.
A bit more gain.
That's where it's at. Everything is full whack with the humbucker. We'll put this humbucker in it, but you just...
Look, it's fun.
Can I just try? You plug that in there, just to give it a humbucker.
Good idea. Good idea.
You go as soon as you get hum guy in there.
If you want to play at home,
I tell you what.
Let's go back to. I'll give you a big. There's your clean sound.
Yeah, but I tell you what. If you're using this at home and you want to do loops, this is too. There's not enough headroom there.
Yeah, you need something.
If you start doing loop and you want to layer stuff in, you need something a little bit bigger. But for studio recording.
Yeah, and don't forget as well, if you do decide to buy the combo, it is a smaller, obviously much smaller cabinet than this one, so probably won't quite have the bass end that we're getting in here. But there we are.
These are great, man.
I think they
I'm
are.
so
I think
happy
these will
we're
do.
stocking this.
I think these will do well. I mean, it's
Yeah.
you've got a lot of choice, right? Haven't you? If you want a good gigging, still staying sort of portable, sensibly priced, all valve amplifier.
Yeah.
Like you say, I mean, you can go DSL, you can go Marshall.
You can even get
Origin.
You can get these now, can't you? Still, or are the prices going up on those? Have I heard something like that?
No,
Maybe?
that would be
Like $1,000?
Maybe,
That'd be the same
maybe
as this?
slightly dearer, but there's probably a Laney option. Is there
Yeah.
an affordable orange option? I mean, there's a lot of choice. You could go Fender, although I'm not sure. I think the Fender would be
Fender
it's
needs
a
to do some
different
heads,
kind
man.
of
Come on, stop doing the
vibe.
heads again. Heads and cabs, Fender. Come on.
I do love the look of it though.
They look great.
So we like it. I'm pleased we started stocking these. So yeah, go over to the website. There is a bass range as well. If you have know any bass players and you're thinking they might like a Hiwatt amp, they do this cool range called the Bulldog series.
We need to do a video on that.
Yeah,
Will do.
but yeah, whether you've got solid state money, mid-price valve, or you want to go shooting for the stars with all
I'm
the
excited about
custom
those.
shop stuff, you can do it now. Yeah. All right. Well, shall we quick jam
Yes.
out then? All right.
Yes.
Happy days. Catch you later, everybody.
Thanks, Below.
Au
Bye.
revoir.